Hello, this is Vincent Vere, and my group's project is an AI investment platform. So this website that you see is hosted publicly on a Heroku server, and anyone can access it from this URL at the top. So going to the website, there is a search bar where a user can submit a comma-separated list of stock symbols. So for example, we have APL, which is Apple, COF, GOOG, which is Google, SJ, and FB, which is Facebook. So if you just submit this query, um, it'll go to our Python backend, and our Python backend will then process all of these symbols and call two APIs. One API to retrieve a list of all the most recent stock prices for each symbol, and another API for Twitter to retrieve a list of all relevant Twitter tweets relating to each symbol. And so when our backend queries the API for historic or most recent stock prices, it will process those prices and create two distinct values. One is volatility, which is how much this stock jumps in price, and it's used or it's calculated by standard deviation. And another is how positive or negative the trend of the historical stock data price is. So when we also use the Twitter API, we will run a sentiment analysis on the tweets, and we will find how positive each tweet is or how negative. And then we use this as a input to a machine learning model. And so the machine learning model we use is a random forest, and it is trained using cross-validation and a grid search of parameters that I have preset. And the inputs are volatility, how positive or negative the trend of recent historical stock price data is, how positive treats are relating to the stock that we are trying to predict on, and the adjusted close price of the stock um, given today's price. So after we have submitted the list of symbols, we can see that we have graphs for each of the stocks. And so you can see on our website that it recommends the symbol SJ. And so, alright. And so SJ is on this far right graph. And so you can see that it has a sentiment analysis score of about 0.49, which means that the tweets relating to SJ are about average in positivity and negativity. It has a volatility score of 0.2, which means that the price does not really change that much, at least in the last 2 weeks. There's a overall recommendation to buy the stock because, as you can see, if you buy the stock today, it'll cost about $6.15. And if you buy the stock in 2 weeks, it will be about $6.76 as predicted by our model. So you can see that the stock will have risen in price and there will be a positive return on investment. For the other four stocks, you can see that they all have about negative trends, and that our model recommends to not buy these stocks as their value will decrease over the next 2 weeks. So looking at this one of the graphs, each graph has a plot of the historical stock price data given the last 10 days. And so there's also colored dots on the graph, and those dots represent the positivity of the tweets relating to that stock. Red dots represent negative tweets, green dots represent positive tweets, and if there is a black dot, that represents that no one has really tweeted about this specific stock. So going below the graphs, we give you examples of the tweets that our Python backend has queried using the Twitter API. And so using these tweets, we run a sentiment analysis and find how positive or negative they are. Looking at the leftmost tweet, you can see that this tweet corresponds with the Apple stock, because it has the hashtag AAPL, which is the symbol of Apple. And so it is the same for each of the other stocks as well. If for some reason the Twitter API can't find any tweets because no one is tweeting about it, there will be a placeholder tweet instead. Um, um, and so yeah, this website essentially this helps users find information and details and projections and graphs about any list of stocks that they're interested in, and also gives them a recommendation to either buy the stock or don't buy the stock, um, and this will help in their investment journeys for the foreseeable future. And that's about it. So goodbye.